All right, let's see how live streaming works. Let's see if anyone shows up to this first, maybe my second live stream ever. Get some guys in here and talk about the Knuck real quick. And let's see what my calendar is, when I have to get out of here. Got about 15 or so minutes. See if anybody shows up. Yo, the Rooster, what's up, man? This is one of my first live streams. So let's see. If you guys have any questions, just ask. This one, all I'm going to be doing is just answering you guys' questions and just kind of seeing how this works, seeing what you guys want to know about the knuckleball or just anything in general. So if you have any questions, let them rip, and we can just go from there. See how many people show up. So the Rooster, who are you, man? Are you a pitcher? Are you a fan? Are you a dad? Let me know if you have any questions. We got a couple people in here. So guys, ask me some questions about the knuckleball pitcher. Okay. So Rooster, the knuckleball is a pitch that we're really promoting hard. Okay. One of the keys, let's just talk about a key of it. Okay. You see my ring finger and thumb. You see how I'm getting it right there. Curling these fingers up on top right there. That's security of the ball right there. A lot of guys, it's one of the biggest things I see with the knuckleball is that they'll throw it and they'll throw it just like their fastball. So you see how you get a fastball and your thumb's right underneath and the ring finger is kind of curled like that. I see a lot of pitchers when they try to grab a knuckleball, they'll have the same thing where they're curled like that or like that, and it's right underneath. Do you guys see that? And that's a huge issue with the knuckleball because it's not going to really be able to come out right. You've got to be able to throw it so that you have security of the bottom fingers, just like that. And that's going to allow it to pop out with those two fingers right there. Why does my knuckleball always have front spin? Front spin is a great place to start. Rooster, how old are you? What's up, Alabama football? If you're getting top spin on it, that's a great place to start with your knuckleball. Actually, it means you're probably pretty close to being pretty good. So how much top spin? If you're getting a tumble on it, that's pretty nasty. And so like we were saying, a lot of it could be the placement of your bottom fingers. And so one thing you could do is you might be too far underneath right here. You might be too much on the side. So think about the placement of these fingers. And then if that doesn't have any effect, then you can, keep modifying it. But really the goal of the knuckleball is that it's going to come out right there. And so if we can get these fingers in a secure position on the side and then have it shoot out right there, that's our goal. So another thing, when guys get too much top spin, one of the things that we want to do is we want to get them more aggressive with this popping action right there. And so a lot of times when guys have too much top spin, they might be too strong with these fingers. The thumb and the ring finger too strong. So then it rolls out there. So if it's lighter here, a lot of times it's easier for it to kind of get out of these fingers and just shoot out right there. Is it better to use your knuckles? 100%. It's better to use your nails. Everyone throws with their nails. Yes, and please like this, guys. Better to use your nails right there. That's how every pro guy, every top guy I've ever seen throws their knuckleball. And it's okay to use more than just two fingers. A lot of guys, especially younger guys, are going to be better off with three or even having their pinky on it a little bit. Depends on hand size. So you could go right there. Kenny Surwa is in the Tigers organization. He throws his kind of like that. So then it's more of his pinky securing it and thumb right there. And then he's able to get it to pop out right there. Yeah, Jaden, what's your question, man? Yeah, and please like the live stream, guys. We want to start doing more of this type of stuff on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. People like these live streams. Jaden, what's your question? And then, so if you're getting top spin, that's a really good start with it. A lot of guys, can't throw it without pushing it. So that's one thing too that a lot of guys run into is where they can throw it really good when they push it, but they can't throw it when they have like a normal throwing action. So one of the big keys to remember on your knuckleball is it's the shooting action right there. I tell guys like this, think about your fastball. When you throw your fastball, you have to shoot it at the right moment, right? If you shoot too late, it's going to be a ball way high. If you shoot too early, it's going to go straight into the ground. The knuckleball is the same thing, different grip, but you have to throw it and you have to shoot it out at the right moment. And so guys that are pushing it, they're not going to be able to throw it hard. They're not really throwing a knuckleball that's going to be that usable in games. It's going to be way too slow. So when you're throwing it, you want to get a good release and pop it at the right moment. So one thing, and this is Caleb, this is answering your question. One thing that you guys want to do is get really good at shooting it right there. You see how I'm throwing it right into my hand and I'm able to pop it right there hard. When you can get this action, popping it hard right there into your hand like that, then you can have a much better chance of throwing it with a normal release and popping it, and it'll explode out and you'll be able to throw it a lot harder. More speed on the knuckleball. This is exactly what we're talking about. It's that action, just like on a fastball, you're going to pop right there and get a lot more. So get that action right there. Good drill is just right there into your hand. And then after you guys are doing that, get a wall. I don't want to throw it against a wall here, or a net or a throwing partner, and just work on a quick release right there. Boom, boom, pop it out, because you guys are pushing it. You're not using your wrist or your fingers, and you're not going to get any speed on it. Guys, this is a huge part of it. So if you guys can learn this popping action, you're going to be able to throw it a lot harder. And that's where you're going to get your pitches that come out with no spin, but they're not really usable because you can't throw them very far or very hard. When you can take the spin off, even if it has a little bit of spin, and you're able to throw it harder, just like your fastball, that's when it'll start to dance everywhere like crazy, and you're going to get really good with it. And so most people don't know that, but I would say try it out and try it just close distance and pop it out. Yeah, grip, guys. So a lot of grips work. I tell guys one of the biggest keys is just kind of get thumb, ring finger, secure it like that. Some guys will really just try to get opposite side of the ball and then curl these fingers right there. The pinky can kind of go wherever it wants. Some guys will do more fingers like that, but you want to secure both sides of it. And it's not just, some guys I've seen, they're right in the fingertips like that. You want to get it deep enough in the hand that you can secure it and you can throw it a lot harder. But the key is having both sides of the ball. I would say as far as 3 or 2, it depends on hand size and age, but there's also a guy, Kenny Surwa, in the Tigers organization. He throws it with all of his fingers right there, and he throws one of the hardest knuckleballs of anybody. So there's nothing wrong with using more fingers. It's what feels comfortable. I would say 100% of major league knuckleballers that I've seen, there might be guys that I don't know about that pitch just a little bit, but definitely all the great ones, they threw it with 2, but there's nothing wrong with more. And especially when you're younger, it could be a big thing, because I've seen guys, they're 8 years old, and this is very difficult for them. But then when they can go to 3 fingers right here, it's much easier for them to control the ball, and especially to control the top half, and to be able to get a little bit of that tumbling action, which is absolutely key for the knuckleball. And so I would say if you're really young, probably just try 3 to start with. And if that really works for you, then you may never have to change it. If it works for you, and then as you get older, your hands get bigger, you can definitely go to 2. Like I said, major leaguers are pretty much all throwing it with 2 fingers right here. And there's different grips that work. So some guys will be here, some guys, even down there. I've seen different grips that work, but the most common is pretty much right about there, or like kind of right there. But it's securing it right here, getting these fingers to curl right there, and then I'm able to control the top half of the ball. And then the goal is pop right there. Let me know some more questions, guys. Really good questions on the knuckleball. We have training that we do every single day inside the program where we go over your guys' video of your knuckleball, and then we're able to coach you as you go through it, even as you're throwing it in games, how to throw it for better strikes, how to throw it, in different counts in games. This is just kind of like a first live stream, so we're going to be, just a few more minutes. But let me know questions that you guys have that you'd want to cover in future live streams, anything like that. I get gyro spin. I think because it slips. Arm slot can be any arm slot. I tell kids, okay, show me your fastball. Are you here? Are you more here? Are you more here? And then throw the knuckleball from the same arm slot. Gyro spin is typically it's getting caught on like a thumb or a ring finger, or you're like underneath it a little bit with your release, which is you're not really securing it strong enough. So really secure it right there. And then the goal is popping it with these fingers. So you can throw it sidearm totally fine and make sure it gets out on these fingers right there. So the best drill is right there and getting it out those fingers there. And then you can move on to further, but it's got to be that popping action right there. So another good drill would just be kind of like this. I'm able to pop it out on those fingers right there. And then you can kind of get an idea of which fingers it's coming off of. A lot of times, side spin or a gyro is it's catching the ring finger, the thumb, and it's kind of just like a weak wrist, or you're like cutting it like that. Good questions, guys. Couple more minutes. Like I said, it's going to be the first one. I'm probably going to start going on Instagram, TikTok, trying to figure out a different cadence for these lives. And then, of course, we have the Knuckleball program. If you guys are super interested in adding this to your arsenal, you're going to need the coaching that iteratively develops it over a period of time. So let me know questions, and we'll try to answer all of them. And like I said, I'll be doing this on Instagram, TikTok, stuff like that. Let me know different types of content you want to see. But we want to spread the knuckleball because the arm injury epidemic is crazy. Everyone's just chasing velocity. That's not really helpful for anybody because it's just blown out arms. Most people, they are not going to be throwing 95 to 100. Most of you guys watching this, listening, you need something extra that's going to allow you to compete against guys like Aroldis Chapman, Ben Joyce, who are just throwing as hard as they possibly can. Some people are blessed with that. Most of us, we need, even if we're going to throw 90-95, we need something. I know what Wakefield talks about, how you want to think about closing the blind, sort of. That seems a bit, yes. So great question. So that kind of didn't help me either, the closing the blinds. There's different ways of thinking about it that will help every person. So for Wakefield, he's right there because he wants to stay through it. He doesn't want to twist his wrist. The way that helped me a lot more was what R.A. Dickey talked about it. He talked about kind of like trying to stay down a hallway when you're throwing it. So you're staying in line and then just reaching out and setting it in the catcher's mitt. That helps me much more than closing the blinds. This didn't help me. Reaching out as far as I could, setting it in the mitt so that I can get out on these fingers as far as possible. But remember, there's the feels and then there's the reels. So the feel for Wakefield obviously worked for him. He was able to win 200 games in the big leagues, and he had one of the best knuckleballs of all time. Different guys will be different things. For me, it was much more reaching out, setting it into the mitt or whatever target I have. A lot of times a good target will be the catcher's mask because the knuckleball is going to have drop. And so you want to have a little bit higher target a lot of times. So reaching out to that target, so it's coming out of these fingers at the end and we're not cutting it. So a lot of times guys will throw the knuckleball and they release it too early, they cut it. That's where your side spin, your gyro comes from, as opposed to really getting out all the way in front. That's actually a really good question. Any other questions, guys? I've got to go in a couple of minutes. But like I said, we might be doing more of these. So let me know what you would want to potentially see in future live streams on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that. Anything else, fellas? And we can talk, other pitches too. Can you grab the camera for Lamar? I've heard a lot of knuckleballers that talk about fingernail growth. Yeah, fingernail growth. So that's a really good one. So mine are just like average, medium length. You want to have healthy nails. There's nothing like growing them out longer as like a big thing. It's more about them just being the length that works for you. I have a guy that's throwing the knuckleball in college right now. He likes his nails super short, and he doesn't even like feeling his nails on the ball. Most guys are about medium right there, and it's really the feeling of the fingers and the nails at the same time to give yourself a really secure grip. What you want to do is find the fingernail length that gives you that secure grip right there, and then having it the same length every single time to eliminate variables on the knuckleball. Because if, like, say, one day they're long, another day they're short, that's where you run into issues. Another, they're too long, they're going to crack. Keep them the same length. As a knuckleball, you want everything to be very fine tuned, and so the more variables you have, it's just way more difficult. So keep things, the exact same every single time. But very good question right there. All right, guys, I got to go. Just kind of wanted to test this out. Do you think I should be doing more of these in the future? We can answer some of your guys' questions, and we can do these on different formats too, TikTok and Instagram. Like I said, maybe little 15-minute ones. I'll see you guys soon. Make sure to comment, like all the videos, and we will definitely try to help you guys out as much as you can. Believe me, we want the knuckleball out there. We want to save your guys' arms. We want you guys to have the best careers possible. And if you're throwing the knuck, I'll do everything I can in my power to help you. One more question for Hades, and I got to go. One more question. Let's see what he's got. See what you got. Hit me up, and I got to go in a second. Okay. Let's see. Maybe he's just trying to get me to say, let's see, Hades, you got a question right here? All right. Let's see if he's got anything. All right, guys, I gotta go. Hades, if you have a question, and just put it in a comment or DM me. Is screwball as good for your arm? The screwball is really only going to be something that some guys can throw that are natural pronators. Like if you look at what's his name that throws the UFO changeup, the what do they call it? The What's that guy that throws that incredible changeup? They call it the, I can't even think of the name, but you guys know what I'm talking about. The crazy UFO changeup. That's basically a screwball, and that's going to be good for massive. Devin Williams, massive pronators are going to be okay with that. Some guys are pronators, some guys are supinators, some guys are more neutral. So it just totally depends. Okay, so Lions fan, you're an awesome guy. And okay, so this is a great question. Should you get your velocity up? You should get your velocity up in a safe way, which means you're not chasing it as the only thing. Get your body stronger so that you can handle the velocity. I want all of you guys getting the highest velocity that your bodies can handle safely. You'll throw harder than people that chase velocity when they're young. And then the knuckleball will take whatever your velocity is. Maybe you're going to throw 85, maybe you'll throw 95, 100, and it'll make that 95 look like 105. So it's not that we don't want velocity, we don't want injuries. And the chasing velocity era that we're in is what's killing guys. Develop yourself, especially at a young age. Mechanics first, location, learning good off speeds like a changeup, a knuckleball. As your body develops, you're going to be able to throw much harder than guys that chase velo, and you'll have the location and the other pitches. That's a great question. That's something we should cover more as well. Side spin. We'll make some more videos on that. I gotta go. Side spin, a lot of times is you're cutting it, and you got to just get out stronger right there. Fundamentals, exactly. All right, you guys are awesome. I gotta go, but think of more questions and then just put them in the comments. Like, hey, coach, when are you doing a live stream again? Or I have some questions for you, and then we're going to try to help you guys out as much as possible. We want more guys dominating at the highest levels with whatever height they have, velo they have. We want guys to make it. All right, you guys are awesome.